was seconds away from my wedding, dressed in white, the future laid out before me. Then he appeared, my true mate, golden eyes blazing, claws of fate tearing through the life I thought I wanted. Before vows could bind me, he claimed me, wild and unrelenting. And I realized some destinies can't be denied, even by promises, plans, or lies. The wedding interrupted. The chapel was silent, hushed in anticipation. White petals lined the aisle, candles flickered, and every face turned toward me, expecting the perfect bride. My hands trembled, not from nerves, but from the strange, persistent pull in my chest that had started weeks ago. I told myself it was pre-wedding anxiety, excitement, perhaps a fleeting dream of rebellion. And then he appeared, not in the pews, not among the guests, but at the edge of the chapel doors. His presence hit me like a force of nature, sweeping through the hall, rippling the air, and making every breath I took catch in my throat. Golden eyes, intense, piercing, and undeniably mine, locked onto me. Every nerve in my body screamed recognition, awakening something primal I had never allowed to surface. My fiancé turned, confused. The alpha's aura filled the room, tension coiling like a storm about to break. Whispers spread through the guests like wildfire, but I could only see him, the one I had never met, yet had always known was meant for me. "Stop this," I heard myself whisper, though it sounded more like a question than a plea. My heart was pounding, leopards stirring beneath my skin, instincts screaming danger, but also desire. He stepped forward, every movement deliberate, predatory, yet elegant, radiating dominance that made the air itself vibrate. "You are mine," he said, voice low, reverberating with the claim that had drawn me to him before I even knew his name. No vows, no promises, no lies can change that. Not today, not ever. The guests gasped. My fiancé's face turned pale, shock and disbelief flashing across his features. But I could not pull my eyes away. My leopard growled softly beneath the surface, muscles coiling as if recognizing its true mate. My chest heaved, my hands trembling, not from fear, but from the recognition of destiny calling my name. I can't," I started, voice faltering, but he interrupted, stepping closer, bridging the distance between us in a heartbeat. "You don't need to," he said. "Not until you choose, but you cannot ignore what you are, what we are. The bond doesn't lie. The bond does not wait." My mind reeled. Weeks of pre-wedding excitement, months of planning, years of supposed stability, all of it was slipping through my fingers. The chapel, the vows, the life I had imagined, it meant nothing compared to the fire in his eyes, the pull in my chest, the magnetic force of our destined bond. I wanted to resist, to cling to the life I thought I wanted, to push him away. But my leopard, instincts coiling, heart racing, urged me toward him. Every fiber of my being screamed yes, even as my mind screamed no. Who are you?" I managed to whisper, voice trembling with emotion I could not name. "I am your mate," he said simply, unwavering, golden eyes burning with certainty. the one you have been waiting for, even before you knew you were waiting. I am here to claim you, before lies, promises, and obligations bind you to the wrong path. Attention in the chapel was palpable. Guests stared, frozen. My fiancé tried to speak, but the words faltered, lost in the charged silence. The Alpha's dominance, presence, and claim made everything else fade away. The aisle, the flowers, the carefully planned ceremony. Nothing existed but him, me, and the undeniable truth that destiny had arrived in the form of a golden-eyed storm. My leopard shifted beneath my skin, muscles tightening. The pull, magnetic and fierce, called to something wild inside me. Desire, destiny, fear, and exhilaration clashed in a storm I could not resist. I wanted to run, to deny, to cling to the life I thought I wanted, but my body, instincts, and heart refused. He extended a hand, steady and unyielding. "Will you come with me?" he asked, voice low and commanding, a golden promise of fire, freedom, and fate. "Or will you deny what you are, what we are?" Time seemed to stop. I could hear the rapid beat of my own heart, feel my leopard's muscles coiled and ready. The choice was terrifying, exhilarating, impossible to ignore. I looked into his eyes and knew without question what I had to do. Fate did not knock politely, destiny did not wait for vows, and true mates, they could not be denied. With a trembling hand, I reached for his, stepping toward him as the chapel erupted into chaos. White petals scattered, shocked gasps filled the air, and my world shifted on its axis. I was stolen, not by force, but by the undeniable pull of destiny. And for the first time in my life, I knew with every fiber of my being, I was exactly where I was meant to be. The air outside the chapel was thick with tension, the night wrapping the estate in a cloak of shadows. The guests' whispers faded into the distance as we stepped into the cool evening, my hand firmly in his. My leopard trembled beneath my skin, muscles coiling with excitement and alertness, sensing both danger and the irresistible pull of my true mate. Hale's golden eyes never left mine, burning with intensity, obsession, and something far more tender than the alpha I had only glimpsed in stories. Every step he took resonated with power, each movement deliberate, predatory, and impossibly magnetic. I wanted to resist him, to cling to the life I had planned, to fight the destiny that had been thrust upon me. Yet every instinct, every fiber of my being screamed to follow. "You are trembling," he murmured, his voice low and rich, vibrating through my chest. "Not from fear, from recognition. You know it. You feel it as deeply as I do." I swallowed hard, heart racing. I don't know if I can, if I should." He tilted my chin gently, forcing my gaze into his golden eyes. "You don't have to think. You only have to feel. The bond doesn't wait for hesitation. It doesn't care for contracts, plans, or obligations. You are mine, as I am yours. Always." The intensity of the words, the magnetic pull behind them, made my leopard growl softly, a low rumble vibrating beneath my skin. Desire, fear, and fascination tangled in a storm I could neither resist nor deny. My heartbeat synced with his, every nerve alive, every breath shallow, every instinct screaming the same truth. He was mine, and I was his. I've never felt anything like this, I whispered, trembling despite my attempts at composure. It's overwhelming, terrifying, and yet, my voice faltered, and yet I can't fight it. Kale's lips curved into a faint, dangerous smile. Good, he said softly, taking a step closer, closing the space between us until I could feel the heat radiating from him. You should never fight what is meant for you. The bond is a fire that will not be extinguished. And once you surrender to it, you will see your strength, your power, your desire, all magnified. My leopard shifted beneath my skin, responding to the alpha's raw energy, coiling and pulsing with anticipation. I wanted to run, to resist, to reclaim the life I had thought I wanted. But every instinct, every pulse of my heart urged me to lean in, to embrace the destiny that had been waiting for me. I don't know if I can, I whispered again, voice trembling as my hands tightened around his. Kale's golden eyes softened, a flicker of vulnerability hidden beneath the storm of dominance. You can, he said, voice low and commanding. Because I will not force you. I will not claim what is not freely given. I only ask that you allow yourself to feel, to recognize what we are, to accept that the bond cannot be denied. I shivered as his words sank in. The world around us, the chapel, the guests, the life I had been living, faded to nothing. There was only him, only the pull of destiny, the fire in my veins, the leopard thrumming beneath my skin, aware that my true mate had claimed me in ways no one else could. Kale, I breathed, my voice barely audible. What if this destroys everything I thought I wanted? He cupped my face gently, thumbs brushing along my cheekbones. Then it destroys what was never meant for you, he whispered, and gives you everything you are truly meant to have. Fear has no power over destiny. Only choice does, and I'm giving you that choice. Always. A pull between us intensified, magnetic and overwhelming. My leopard growled softly, instincts urging surrender, yet holding on to caution. Desire, destiny, and danger intertwined, creating a storm that was impossible to resist. Every nerve, every heartbeat, every breath screamed the same truth. He was my mate, and nothing else mattered. I choose you, I whispered finally, voice trembling but determined. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because I cannot ignore this bond, this fire, you. Kale's golden eyes flared with triumph, desire, and something tender, almost reverent. Then you are mine, he murmured, drawing me into his embrace, the world around us falling away. And I am yours, forever. The night air shimmered with the intensity of our connection. The alpha's obsession had reached its peak, and my surrender had solidified the bond neither of us could deny. By day, I had been someone else, someone cautious, controlled. By night, in the presence of my true mate, I had embraced the fire, the destiny, and the obsession that connected us across time and instinct. We stood together in the shadows, golden eyes locked, hearts pounding, and fates entwined. And I knew without doubt that whatever storms came, whatever obstacles we would face, we were bound together, wild, untamed, and unstoppable. By dawn, nothing would be the same. By night, destiny had claimed me. And by day, I would never forget the moment I was stolen by my true mate. Before the wedding. Temptation and turmoil. The moon hung low over the estate, silver light spilling across the forest and glinting on the windows of the grand manor. Inside, I sat in the quiet of my room, hands trembling as memories of the night before played on a loop in my mind. Kale's golden eyes, intense and mesmerizing, haunted me. My leopard stirred beneath my skin, restless, alert, and craving the presence of my true mate. I had never imagined destiny could strike so violently, so utterly, leaving me breathless, trembling and exhilarated all at once. My wedding plans, my fiancé, the life I thought I wanted, all of it collapsed in a single moment, replaced by the irresistible pull of the alpha who had stolen me before I could say I do. The knock on my door made me jump. My leopard growled low, muscles coiling instinctively. "Come in," I called, trying to steady my voice. The door opened slowly, and there he was, Kale Draven Blackthorn, my mate, my obsession, my danger, leaning against the doorway, golden eyes gleaming like molten fire. "May I?" he asked softly. I nodded, unable to speak. Words seemed inadequate, and yet everything about him demanded a response beyond words, a surrender, a recognition, a yielding to the magnetic force that had drawn us together. He stepped inside, the scent of his power filling the room, wrapping around me like a blanket I couldn't resist. My leopard purred, muscles coiling and relaxing, responding to the pull of our bond, aware that he was not just my mate, but the one who had awakened something primal and untamable within me. "You've been thinking about last night," he said, voice low, smooth and commanding yet softened by tenderness. "About me, about us. You cannot hide it. The bond betrays every thought you try to suppress." I swallowed hard, heart hammering. I can't help it," I admitted, voice trembling. "It's overwhelming. The pull, the desire, the bond, everything." Kale moved closer, close enough that the heat of his presence pressed against me, making my pulse race uncontrollably. "And yet, you resist," he murmured, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "You fight because you are strong. You fight because your spirit is untamed. And that is why I love you, why I need you, why I cannot let you go." My chest tightened. The intensity of his words, the closeness, the undeniable pull between us was more than I could bear. Every instinct screamed surrender. Yet my mind hesitated, clinging to remnants of the life I had planned. My leopard growled softly, urging me to give in, to feel, to embrace the destiny that had claimed me. "I'm scared," I whispered. "Scared of what this means, of what I feel, of how much I want you." Hale's lips curved into a tender yet predatory smile. "Good," he said softly. "Fear is natural. Desire is natural. And love? Love is inevitable. The bond doesn't ask permission. It doesn't wait for comfort. It demands honesty, surrender, and recognition of the truth between us." I exhaled, surrendering at last to the truth that had been written in the stars long before I had walked down that aisle. Desire, destiny, and love intertwined, binding me to him in a way that words could never capture. My leopard purred, muscles relaxing, sensing the bond solidifying, knowing that my mate was here, present and unstoppable. Outside, the world continued, unaware of the storm of passion and destiny unfolding within these walls. But inside, under the silver moonlight, two hearts, two souls, two beasts merged into one unstoppable force. Bound by fate, dawn broke over the estate, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold. But inside, the world had already shifted. I stood beside Kale, golden eyes locked on mine, every instinct in my body screaming the same undeniable truth. He was mine, and I was his. The events of the night, the storm of desire, the force of destiny, the magnetic pull of the bond had changed everything. The manor was silent, the guests still processing the dramatic interruption at the chapel. Yet none of it mattered. Not the whispers, not the shocked faces, not the life I had thought I wanted. Kale's hand found mine, warm and firm, a tether that grounded me, even as my heart raced with the lingering thrill of our connection. "You are mine," he murmured, voice low and rich, vibrating through me like a promise etched in fate. "And I am yours, forever. No one, nothing can change that." I swallowed hard, my leopard coiling beneath my skin, muscles tense with emotion and anticipation. I don't even know how to begin to explain this," I whispered, voice trembling. "How can anyone understand a bond like ours?" "They don't have to," Kale said softly, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "Because it is ours, only ours. The rest of the world, it fades away in the face of destiny. What we share is eternal, unbreakable, and undeniable." "But what about everything else?" I asked, voice low, almost hesitant. "The life I had, the expectations, the people who were waiting." Kale's expression softened, a flicker of vulnerability shining through the alpha's dominant mask. "What we have is stronger than any expectation, any plan, any obstacle," he said firmly. "The world may resist, but the bond cannot. Your life, my mate, begins with us, together. And from this moment, nothing will take that away." I exhaled, surrendering fully to the truth, to the fire, to the destiny that had claimed me. Every heartbeat, every breath, every coil of my leopard beneath the surface confirmed it. Kale was my mate, my protector, my obsession, my destiny. He stepped closer, closing the remaining space between us, golden eyes blazing with an intensity that left me breathless. "Do you feel it?" he whispered, voice low, reverberating through me. "The pull, the fire, the bond, it is ours. It has always been ours. And now it will define everything we are, everything we do, and everything we will face together. I nodded, tears pricking my eyes, overwhelmed by the power of the connection, by the magnetic pull of our destiny. I feel it, I breathed. I feel everything, and I accept it. Accept you, accept us. Kale's lips curved into a triumphant yet tender smile. Then there is no turning back, he murmured, cupping my face gently. No hesitation, no regrets. Only us. Only fire, destiny, and the bond that has waited lifetimes to awaken. I am yours, fully. No reservations, no holding back. You have claimed me, and I am yours. Kale's smile softened, glowing with love, obsession, and fierce protectiveness. And I am yours, he whispered. Forever. Through every sunrise and sunset, every storm, every shadow, every danger. You are mine, and I will guard you, cherish you, and love you beyond measure. The sun rose higher, golden light spilling through the windows, bathing us in warmth. In that moment, with hearts entwined, destinies aligned, and passions ignited, I knew we were unstoppable. The Alpha had claimed me. The bond was sealed, and our future, wild, untamed, and unbreakable, lay ahead. By day, the world might see only a couple reclaimed from chaos. By night, we were something more. Mates bound by fire, fate, and an obsession that would never fade. Together, we would face anything. Unstoppable, unshakable, and eternally bound.